welcome back to A Game of Fangs and Thrones. My name's Hannah, and this is a vlog. I've decided that I'm just going to go back to doing weekly vlogs. They're easier, I think, especially when I'm trying to remember what I want to talk to you about. So, we're just going to start this vlog with a little recent reads catch up. So I think the last thing I told you I read was it Shadow? It was Night Study. So I also read Darkest Moon by Lindsay Hall, which is, I'm gonna pop you down. Nope. That's just was bad, and no. Okay, I'm not putting you down. So then I read Darkest Moon by Lindsay Hall. This is a werewolf type story, but our main character isn't a werewolf. She isn't a true wolf, and she ran away from her destiny because the alpha wasn't great. I mean, I did read it at the beginning of August, and now we're halfway through September, but at the time it was a 4. I'm going back to my own personal rating system, which is still on a 5-star rating system. 1 is bad, it's probably a DNF. 2 is something definitely made me finish this, even though I don't like it. Almost like hate read. 3, fine. Probably not going to reread. Maybe, possibly. 4, can't physically fault it. I enjoyed it. And a 5-star gives me that emotional gut punch, that oh my god feeling that we all want from a 5-star. So that is that. So Darkest Moon was 4. Little Thieves by Margaret Owen, which I'm so annoyed that I don't have. I'm up downstairs, which is probably why you can hear the washing machine. But I'm downstairs. The book is upstairs. But my copy of Little Thieves was the Illumicrate edition, I want to say, and it is absolutely stunning. And so is the story. It is a retelling of The Goose Girl, where we follow Vanya, who is a maid, who is the goddaughter to Death and Fortune. And when she's 16, 17, I think, they come to her and say she needs to choose as payment for them looking after her. She doesn't want to choose, so they give her a bit more time. Vanya is a bit of a thief as well, and she steals jewels from the wrong person and is cursed to become jewels herself. We have our main male character is, I've forgotten his name, but he is sort of like a trainee police officer in this world, which gives me very strong German vibes and maybe a little Jewish influence as well, but don't quote me on that one. That got 4 stars as well. Then I did read Kidnap on the California Comet by Sam Sedgman and A.G. Leonard. This is the 2nd book in the Adventures on Train series, and I'm not rating that. It feels strange to rate a kid's book unless it is a 5-star. But just know that in this one, Harrison rejoins his uncle in the summer holidays. Harrison's got a new baby brother or sister, and he just needs his own space. So his uncle has been invited to go on a train journey, invited by a very rich man in America who's operating a science company, and we know how these go, I think. It's a straightforward children's mystery, but I mean, I didn't guess what was entirely going on. So if I would have to rate it, I would say it's a 4, but I'm not putting that down on paper anywhere just because it feels strange to rate something that I am not the target audience for. Then we go back to... there's one more kids book, middle grade, that I read in August, that I'm just going to say was Return to Raw by Jenny McLachlan, the sequel to The Battle of Raw. Sorry, The Land of Raw, where we follow two twins, a boy and a girl, who, when they were younger, used to make believe in, how you do when you're younger, they play acted a magical country called Raw, that they could only get to by travelling through a camp bed in their granddad's attic. Flash forward to when they're about 9 or 10, they go back to their granddad's house, and lo and behold, Raw is real. And the bad guy is very creepy. So we're carrying on that. Our characters as they are growing up, they deal with some more universal problems, I want to say. A new school, new friends, trying to fit in with them, as well as not losing yourself, which I think is very, especially when you're 11 and you in the UK, mostly you go from primary school to secondary school, and you move schools from a little school to a bigger school, and when you're 11 you're still figuring yourself out, and so that can cause a lot of upheaval, turmoil, all of that we all remember from growing up. As well as, obviously, we have the fantastical element. So, that was a good time. Right. So then we have Restless Slumber by KJ Sutton. This is the sequel to Fortuna Deadly, or Fortuna Dreams. I think it's Fortuna Deadly. Fortuna Sworn, that's it. By KJ Sutton. And that follows Fortuna, who is one of the last nightmares. She and her brother are the only ones. Her brother has gone, in the first book, her brother has gone missing. So Fortuna goes looking for him, ends up in a goblin market, where she meets a fey king, who says, yep, I can take you to your brother, but you gotta marry me first. And it just goes from there. There is a start of maybe a love triangle, maybe a bit of a threesome, but who knows, especially since the end of Restless Slumber was very cliffhangery. I cannot wait until I can get my hands on the third copy. I just need to download it from Kindle, but I can't wait. Then we read The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, which I think is probably adult, if not very, very older end YA. That follows the story. Why can I never remember names? But that follows the story of a girl from an impoverished village in a war-torn country who manages somehow to get to the elite training school. And this book is sort of her time at that college, mixed in with what happens when she graduates, because she finds magic. And the magic changes everything. It does not shy away from the brutalities of war in any way, shape or form, so please be wary of that if you are sensitive to drug use, blood, graphic fight scenes. I don't think there's much more, but I'm sure there will be a comprehensive list of trigger warnings on Goodreads or something if you need that going in. Then we read The Flames of Albion by Jean Menzies, who is Jean's Bookish Thoughts on YouTube. And I give that one a 4. It was so close to becoming a 5 because it is light academia, it's dragons, it's politics. I just don't know why, but I didn't connect to our main character. And it's not to say it's a bad book, I just didn't connect. So that one got 4 stars, and I hope she brings out a sequel to that. Mistress of Lies by K.M. Enbright. Again, an absolutely gorgeous cover that I don't have to hand currently and wish I did, because it was the Illumicrate edition. And it was, again, absolutely stunning. It's a new take on vampires with a bit of a threesome throuple element. We follow Shan, who is half caste and is a blood worker. Now, I think blood workers are a bit more of a civilized vampire. They can use magic through your blood. They need blood to do it. And they just seem a lot more civilized. They don't bite. They have little claws on their hands. They're just metal claws. So a lot more civilized. So we follow Shan, who is the daughter of a disgraced blood worker, and in the first chapter she actually kills her father, because, it's the only way in this world she's going to get what she deserves, which is a seat, and which is controlling her house. I mean, she's been doing that for years behind the scene anyway. Her brother, who was supposed to be the heir, does not have any blood worker magic. And then we have Isaac, who is trans, which is a very interesting. His character, shall we say, is very interesting. I believe K.M. Enbright is a trans Filipino writer, and the representation for everyone in there just felt genuine. It felt authentic. It felt like it was there for a reason, and I absolutely ate that up. I just didn't get the emotional connection that I was looking for, so it got a 4-star, but that may have been me expecting something else from that book. And then we have a couple of J. Bray books to round out this little recent reads episode, mini-sode. We have The Scepter and the Sword, which are the prequel books to the Fated Crowns series, and they both got 3 stars. They were okay. I know I needed to read them before I read The Crown of Oaths and Curses, which got 4 stars. And yeah, I think it was necessary, but at the same time it wasn't. It just confused me with the world and the time frame, and I knew a bit more going into it than if I hadn't read I knew a bit more going into The Crown of Oaths and Curses than if I just, for reading The Scepter and the Sword, than if I just jumped in, but I think there's enough to know what's going on in the main book. Like, there's enough backstory. But if you didn't know, that whole series follows... I have just finished it. Why have I forgotten her name again? Raven? No. We follow a witch who is the last of her coven following a massacre by an evil witch, and in this world, the Fae blame the witches and the witches blame the Fae. But there are evil witches, and our main characters... Sorin? No. I've just finished this, why can't I remember names? Maybe it wasn't as memorable as I thought. Maybe it's a 3-star. But anyway, our main characters are fated, but they are enemies. They're on opposite sides of this war, so it's definitely an enemies to lovers romance. Our witch character has accepted that, and she's not fighting, to her detriment. She literally is called every name under the sun. She's mistreated, and she just sits there and takes it, because she knows eventually the Fae King, the Savage Prince, will have to accept her as his mate, or risk the world collapsing even more than it already is. So in this one, the evil witches have poisoned the land. Nothing grows, but our witch character is the one to break that curse. She understands the old rituals that the Fae aren't doing, that restored the world, so she does her little part. And major trigger warning for baby loss. The Fae characters are cursed. They cannot be pure blood Fae. So a Fae and a Fae, the female will get pregnant, but unfortunately she will either have a miscarriage or she will have a stillborn, which is devastating if you think about it. Fair enough if you got pregnant by accident and you didn't know, but these Fae know, and there are a couple of characters who are willing to try, but our main character comes along and breaks that curse, so that sets the wheels in motion. So I am intrigued to see what happens next, but it's not a priority. The book I'm reading currently, however, is The Bargainer by Laura Thalassa, and oh my god, is Desmond Flynn haunting my dreams right now. He is so dark and moody. But before I have a bit of a gush about that, let me tell you what it is about. So in this world, we follow Callie, who is a siren, and she has made magical IOUs in the form of a unbreakable, unremovable bracelet with the Bargainer, who is the elfish king of the night. Nobody else knows his name apart from Callie. Well, everybody knows him as the Bargainer, but Callie knows his name. And it is set in 2 timelines, and they run parallel to each other. So we know going into this that Callie has not seen the Bargainer in about 7 years. Something happened where he left her. She was falling in love with him, and at the time you think, even though he's a bad guy, he is definitely morally grey, he is not being inappropriate with Callie, because when they first meet, she is 15, 16. He helps her dispose of her dead stepfather. That's not a spoiler, that happens in the first chapter. And then their relationship grows. We get this from Callie's perspective, so we know that Callie is falling in love with him. But because of her age, Desmond the Bargainer is being very respectful and keeping those boundaries, even though the further on you get in the story, you know he is fighting just as hard as she is. But then they meet up again, and Callie discovers that the Bargainer needs her. He's collecting on his IOUs in various manners that mean that connection is flaming back into life. The Bargainer needs Callie to find out what's happening with his subjects. Now, the Bargainer can compel people. He can he makes deals. So when he calls on a deal as a payment, he can ask you for pretty much anything, and you do it or you die. Now, Callie, being a siren, although I have my suspicions that she's something else as well, now her glamour is different. People have no choice but to obey. There's no way around it. They will eventually tell her what she needs to know. So they go back to the other world to find out who the Thief of Souls is, and why he is stealing the women soldiers of the underworld, the other world, and impregnating them with creepy vampire children. Now, as someone who is very ambivalent towards babies and toddlers anyway, that is quite nightmare-inducing. I don't like babies. I don't get toddlers. I don't really like kids, to be honest. So that is horror fuel. So, needless to say, I am very invested in this story. I'm absolutely loving it. And that is my current read. So, that's my little recent reads wrap up. Totally okay if you were just here for the books and you don't want to watch me ramble on for the rest of the week. Just comment down below if you are leaving what you've read this month, what you are hoping to read, and then if you are wanting to stay for the madness that is me and a camera, you're welcome to join me for whatever comes next. So that being said, it is Saturday the 14th of September. It's about 1:20. Today was the food market where I live. So that was a nice little walk out. I was going to vlog it, but I was with my mum and I'm still getting used, still remembering how to do this. I rambled on for half an hour and I'm still on the introduction. This is going to be a long vlog. But that being said, so I've had a nice walk. I've had some nice food. I have been working on the second book, which is tentatively called From Wolves and Witches. Or was it Witches and Wolves? Either way. I'm going to have to find out now, aren't I? Fancy forgetting the name of your book that you are writing. But it is From Witches and Wolves. Which, if you know, the first book is called A Little Piece of Magic. That makes more sense. But I am outlining that. I also have my little bullet journal scratch planner in the back of here as well. So I've done... I'm not going to show you because of spoilers, even if you can read my writing. But we have a basic plot. And when I was getting to the end of plotting this out, the story gods, the muse, wanted me to make this at least into a trilogy. So there you go. And then I've done a couple of pages of outlining. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline this on paper first and then pull it up a new Scrivener doc for that. Just refine the outline. I don't word count my outline. I don't word count my actual drafts. You know, if you've been around long enough, you know that's not how my brain works. I just write and then edit and then write and then edit and then eventually publish. Little insight there. So we have that. We have the Bargainer on the ebook, which I haven't shown you my Kindle. It has lots of stickers because I like stickers. I don't know where this one's from, because it was a present from my partner. These two are from the same company. I think they're called Ginger Cat Co. This is from Gojira. No, Sophie Louise. And then we have some bigger ones on the back. And the stitch pop socket, because you need something to hold on to. And then, just because I'm finding it really helpful to have a creative outlet while I'm outlining, I have a giant cross stitch, which is stuck. And yes, it is a printed one, but that helps with the mindfulness on other things. So that's what we're going to be doing. Oh, and we have good old Murder, She Wrote on the telly as well. So I'm going to do a bit of this and then maybe check back in with you later. So it's Sunday. It's a late morning because I didn't sleep very well. I have a problem in my hip that I'm going to see the doctor about on Wednesday, and I was in a lot of pain last night and I just kept waking up. I couldn't stay asleep. So with that, we are taking the day off from writing. I am still being creative. I started knitting a pair of socks. Literally just started. The pattern is from The Knitter, which is like a magazine that I get on Kindle Unlimited. But speaking of books, I did finish The Wagner by Laura Thalassa. I think I'll probably give it a 4.5, maybe. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I did connect to the characters, and the spice scenes were on top, were on fire, but I didn't get the emotional connection. I just got the physical reaction to reading very good smut. You know what I mean. But that being said, I'm moving on to Mortal Follies by Alexis Hall. This is the author of Boyfriend Material and Husband Material, which I haven't read. But from what I remember, this deals with... Oh, well, we'll just read the back. It is the year 1814, and Miss Maylis Mitchell-Moore finds her entry into the higher society of Bath hindered by a curse that begins with her dress unmaking itself at the ball of the season and ends with her life in peril. Surviving the attention of an angry goddess means seeking undesirable allies, and few allies are less desirable than the brooding Georgiana Landrake. She might have murdered her father. She's probably a witch. She's certainly bewitching. Now, this gives me the Encyclopedia of Fairies by Emily Wilder. I cannot remember who wrote that book, but it's giving that kind of a vibe with maybe a little bit more of a stake. Regency romance seems to be where I'm at the moment, but with that magical element. So I will let you know how I'm getting on with my socks, and obviously how I get on with the book, both reading and writing. The outline is standing strong. I think I used 3-act structure, so I'm sort of at that second obstacle in Act 2, just before the midpoint. So that'd be a nice one to read when I get back to it when I have a bit more brain space. But that being said, I don't actually know how much sleep I got, but it didn't feel like a lot. So it's now Monday evening. I've come home from work. I'm still in work gear, and that's because I've had my tea. I've had some very nice sushi, and then I've been working on my socks. Now, considering I did a lot of this yesterday, got to this point yesterday, and realised I was 2 stitches short. So I had to undo it, and then did it again and realised I dropped a stitch somewhere. So they were on 3rd time lucky. But I feel like there's a metaphor in there somewhere about trying and trying again until it's right. But that is what I have been working on instead of reading or writing. But I did get a couple of words in on the outline at work. So that is in the purple book with the purple pen. That is purple and writes in purple. I'm never that organised. So that is coming along. I think I might have wrote more than I thought I did. But pretty much all of this is notes and things for Magic's sequel, which is coming out in less than a month now. I think we're on like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ish, because it's coming out on Tuesday the 1st of October. I'll pop the pre-order details in the description down below. Kindle available as a pre-order, and the physical copy will be released on the 1st of October. But I'm so excited. But I'm working on the sequel, and in terms of reading, I did start Mortal Follies by Alexis Hall. I'm about 74 pages in, and I am enjoying it so far. I found this a very fun read. It has that Bridgerton Regency feel with that little bit of magic undertones, like Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, but it gives but with a bit more focus on Regency than Magic. So in that sense, I think it's more Half a Soul by Emily Atwater. I want to say, is it Atwater? I know it's Atwater, but is it Emily Atwater? Have a look. Olivia Atwater. So it gives that kind of vibe, but I think in this one there is maybe a bit more of a focus on the female queer romance that is brewing. I am very much loving this. Why is one side always curlier than the other? I'm having like two different hairstyles here. But we're not going to question it. So it's not too late, it's only like 7:25. I'm going to try for a bit more writing, well, outlining. I don't really want to do any more this tonight, but you never know. This is just like the cuffy bit of your sock. And obviously we do always have the book to fall back on. I don't know if I told you, but I was waiting yesterday for Sterling Ink, I think her name's Catherine, to release her common planners for 2025, and I got the ones I wanted, so I'll probably show you them when they get here, just so I can set up things for next year. I think at the moment what I'm going to do, just because I don't know where I will be next year, hopefully I could be a full-time author. If not, I'll still just sort of muddle through, but I will keep my main journal. I don't need to buy a reading planner because I have one from Illumicrate, but this will be the main journal. And then it won't be this cover, but I'm planning on, I got the monthly booklet and the weekly booklet, and then I'll pair that with one of my own notebooks, plus whatever writing notebook I have, whatever notebook I'm working in at the time, because obviously I have the Dragon book and I have From Witches and Wolves. In case I didn't mention it, From Witches and Wolves is the sequel to A Little Piece of Magic. I don't have a proposed release date or anything like that, but as soon as I do, obviously I'll let you guys know. And I was going to see if I can get some B-roll, but I doubt it. I'm losing light, so I might need to do the northern thing and turn the big light on. But I want to get out of work clothes first and be comfy. Saturday. I've been upstairs for a little bit and come down when I was just about to start my morning, brew some nice coffee, do my to-do list, because I completely forgot about this vlog because I got distracted by making socks. So we'll pop you there because when I came downstairs, my immigrant box is here. Now I do pay for this myself. Do we have some scissors up here? Yes, we do. Oh, how are we going to do this? Feels like it's a very full box this month. And I think I've tried to open it upside down. So this month's theme is Dark Academia. We're just going to leave that to the side. And first off, at the top, we have a gorgeous looking notebook. I'm just checking to see what it says it is. It is very well packaged, I'll give it that. My camera isn't going to pick this up and the light isn't great, but I think you can see the embossing. Oh, so it's a journal. We have end papers. So yes, a weekly to do. That is cool. I probably won't use it, but it is a cool thing. That was inspired by, well, it's a Scales and Wings task journal designed by Lichen and Limestone. Reading prompt cards. These are always fun. But I can't get into them. We have a little pouch. It says it's a glasses case. Oh, it's one of those magnet tops. There, so that will be coming in useful because your girl does like her glasses. Then you'll be able to see. We have another puzzle. I'm not normally a puzzle person, but here you go. It's a puzzle. Then we have the book of the month, and it looks naked. It's not naked, but it is pretty. But there is a naked lady on the back. This is A Dark and Drowning Tide by Alison Saft. I just saw it dropping on the end. Nothing underneath, that's fine. We have a little ghostly print on the hardcover. Tell me you like dragons with that. Tell me you like dragons. When I saw this, you heard the gasp. Then we have Mara, but I think this is like a Kelpie. And we have our sprayed edges, which my camera isn't going to pick up, I don't think, but it looks like an underwater theme with a jellyfish and mermaids. So let's see what this is about. Lorelei Caskell, a folklorist with a quick temper and an even quicker wit, is on an expedition with 6 eccentric nobles in search of a mythical spring with untold power. The king wants to harness the fabled water source from which magic flows to secure his reign, and Lorelei is determined to prove herself and to make her dream come true. To become a naturalist able to travel freely to faraway lands. The expedition gets off to a harrowing start when its leader, Lorelei's beloved mentor, is murdered in her quarters aboard their ship. The subjects are her 5 remaining expedition mates. The only person Lorelei knows is innocent is her longtime academic rival, the insufferable, gallant, and maddeningly beautiful Sylvia von Wolf. Now in charge of the expedition, Lorelei must find the spring before the murderer strikes again and a coup begins in earnest. But other dangers lurk in the dark forests that rearrange themselves at night, rivers with slumbering dragons hiding beneath the water, and shape-shifting beasts out for blood. As Lorelei and Sylvia grudgingly work together to uncover the truth and resist their growing feelings for each other, they discover that their leader had secrets of her own, secrets that make Lorelei question whether justice is worth pursuing and if this kingdom is worth saving at all. And I just had a quick flick through past the gorgeous dragon. It is signed, and we do have a letter from the author bound in. Her handwriting is so tiny. This is about 364 pages, and I think it's from Illumicrate's Daphne Press imprint, which is cool. Next month's theme is Colours of Magic, and you know your girl is automatically going to think Terry Pratchett with that theme. The first Discworld book was called Colour of Magic. From sky to earth, this world is threaded through with the colours of magic. October Illumicrate book is a YA crossover fantasy. So we have a colour magic system. A young woman is under threat from 2 organisations. One would kill her for not having magic, and the other would kill her for not having enough. Her mother falls ill, so she has little choice but to accept a dangerous job offer that would solve their problems. If she succeeds, everything great. If she fails, she could start a fire and destroy the city that destroys the city and everyone inside. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Okay, we have fandoms for next month include The Priory of the Orange Tree. I have read that. The Honey Witch, I haven't read it. Crimson Moth, I haven't read it. And Gods of Jade and Shadow, guess what? I haven't read that either. But we do have a book jacket next month, which is fun. So, a little unplanned, impromptu Illumicrate unboxing going on there. And you know what? I'm not mad about it. Oh, and I've just seen that the task journal does come with a little ribbon, bookmark. I think I have to admit, just purely on practicality, I think the glasses case has to be my favourite. It looks green. It's green and eerie and very Halloweeny. So I will use these at some point. I know I will. This I probably won't use, but I'm not a jigsaw girly. I tried. I'm not. I'm sorry. But as I was saying before, that little impromptu. I'm going to make myself a very nice coffee, sit down with my scratch journal for today, which you are currently sitting on, work out a quick to-do list, which will definitely include getting my butt in gear and finishing the outline for my sequel, which is tentatively called From Witches and Wolves, and to be honest, I think it'll stay like that. And the socks are right in front of me, are right to the side of me, and they are calling my name, so I will just quickly pop off and show you them. So if anybody's interested, we have the start of a sock that is going to be very cozy, I hope. Yes. The pattern is from the Knitter magazine. I can't remember off the top of my head what issue. I'm using 3.5 millimeter double pointed needles. The wool itself, I think I got from Hobbycraft. It's an Aran weight. I think it's pink tweed, but like I say, I bought it a while ago, so I can't remember. But yes, that is the plan for today. Hopefully I remember to update you. But let's be honest, I don't have a very good track record with this, do I? So it's about lunchtime. I haven't had lunch because I'm not hungry. But we have a finished outline. It is a very rough outline, and I am in the process of taking it from the book to a new Scrivener doc that you can't see, but I feel very proud of myself. So what I'll probably do is type this up and then go back to the knitting. So let me just adjust you a little bit. It's Sunday. We are finishing this vlog with a lot of finishes, actually. I finished my first sock. And it's just so warm and cozy, so obviously because most people have 2 feet, we are making 2 socks. So I've just got that ready to go by the side. I finished my book. I finished Mortal Follies by Alexis Hall. I think I told you what this one was about, but it was a cute little cozy romance, historical Regency feel with fairies and a little bit of stakes. I think I'll give this probably a 3.5. When I'm writing, I don't feel like I can actually concentrate on other people's words, so the reading side of things will probably slow down a little bit while the writing speeds up. No doubt there'll be other random crafty bits thrown in for good measure soon as well. Ow, tat. But yeah, 3.5 for. I enjoyed it. I'll probably reread it. It was a cute, cozy kind of story. I loved the narrator of being Puck, though. Yes, I finished my outline last night. I think I told you, but I finished the outline. I got it all typed up. So because I think this is it's Sunday, and I'll be starting the new step with the new draft, with the sequel. So I think and starting a new sock and starting a new reading book. So I think it's a good time to finish this vlog, ready to start the other one. So if you're interested, my self-publishing debut is released on the 1st of October. Details are down below. It is a little piece of magic, a little cozy, witchy, werewolf, paranormal romance with the hint of something more. And if you like this video, or if you want to see more from me, or if you just want to have a chat, drop me something in the drop a comment or an emoji in the comment box below, and I'll chat to you there. So with that, give this video a like if you like it, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see this. talk about this, books, writing, whatever comes next. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.